We're here today with State Rep Marcus Evans
Yes.
Jr.
Yes.
And he is the state representative of the 33rd District Office.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was certainly nice to see that you're in Springfield now, because I think you're going to bring some very good things to Springfield, and you're also going to bring back good information to the community. This is my first time interviewing you as a state representative. As a matter of fact, we never interviewed before, but I had seen you around the 8th Ward.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you always seem pretty busy.
You know what?
So what were you doing before you were appointed to this post with the 8th Ward?
Yeah, well, I worked for Alderman Michelle Harris, of course, the Alderman for the 8th Ward. She took over as Alderman in 2006. I came in with her. I was her Deputy Chief of Staff, and I worked in that capacity from 2006 up until the point I was appointed on April 13, 2012.
Well, apparently she must have seen something good in you. Somebody that was a potential leader, or someone that was already a leader, because you look so young. That's why I say a potential leader. You know, we have so many old politicians running around here, but you practically look like, a teenager.
Well, I'm not a teenager. I wish. I wish, I got adult bills and problems, I'll tell you that. But I think what she saw in me, not just lead, I think the word leadership is recycled and used so much. She saw me as an individual that was prepared to serve our community. And we got a lot of leaders in our community. You're a leader. I play a specific leadership role, but I don't see myself necessarily leading my community and servicing my community and just doing what my community needs me to do. We got a lot of wonderful people.
Well, you have to be a leader to service.
And
for the people.
I'm playing a specific role, and that role is to be a great state rep for the 33rd District. And I'll let all that leadership and all of that work itself out. I want to play this role and do what I need to do in Springfield for the 33rd District.
Well, you know what that sounds like? When people have done something really great, like saved a life or something, say, I'm not a hero.
Yeah.
And so this is what I'm picking up here, what you're saying. Your thing is basically to service the people.
Exactly.
So regardless of whatever, the title of whatever, that doesn't mean that much to you other than serving the people.
Yes,
and that's a good attitude to
I was
have.
raised politically, for sure.
So when you left here as a deputy person to the alderman, how did you feel when you got to Springfield? How did you feel when you got the post? Were you surprised?
I was surprised. My predecessor's name was Ronald Colvin, and he was a state rep for 11 years. And one thing about him is that he loved the job, he was passionate about the job, and I assumed he would do it for 20 years, maybe 30 years. I assumed he would be there for a while.
So did I.
But he got a great opportunity with ComEd. He's the vice president of government affairs. And when I was chosen to take the positions, I was chosen and appointed. I was flattered, I was excited, but I was prepared. So it wasn't really being afraid. I'm just excited and ready to get going. So much to learn. It's a big state with a lot of issues, many of which I'm somewhat familiar with, but just eager to get down and make sure I'm educated and prepared for the job.
Well, you're right about Marlo Colvin. He was just excellent. And usually if I see something there, I let people know. And I remember I told him once, you have so much potential. Yeah. But I didn't think it would be at ComEd. I was talking in terms of politics. Like you said, I thought that he would be in politics for a long time, too. And I'm sure where he is now, he'll also do an excellent job there. But I also see you as one, up and coming, that you're going to do some great things. Yeah. And a few years under your belt and that kind of stuff, we'll see even more because you've done quite a bit in your young years.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you over in Springfield, the committees? What committees are you on? And tell us what these committees, what you do, the committee itself.
It takes a couple of terms to be in leadership or to be chairman of any committee. So right now I'm just a general member of 5 committees at this point. I'm a cancer survivor, so I specifically requested to be on some form of a healthcare committee. So I requested to be on environmental health. So I'm on the environmental health committee. I'm on healthcare licenses committee. That's the committee that kind of sees over all of the various licenses that healthcare providers and healthcare professionals receive. I'm on labor committee. Clearly, labor is a big issue in my community. A lot of hard workers, working class community. I'm also on the appropriations education committee. And the last committee is telecommunications. So those are my 5 committees.
Did you choose those? Did you ask for those, or those are the ones they just put you on?
No,
or
I mean,
do they give you some with a choice and say, well, what committee would you like to sit on?
we got to work it out. You know, work out the logistics. So telecommunications, environmental health, and labor were three that I specifically asked, and I made it on. But it depends on, we got 118 members. You want an even amount of Democrats and Republicans on the committee. So there's a lot of things that the clerk's office, speaker's office have to work out. But you put a request in and say, I'd like to be on these committees. Some committees require you to have a certain amount of seniority and served in office for a little while, like some of the pension committees, some of the insurance committees, the more intense financial committees, judiciary committees. They kind of want a lawyer to be on some of those, or you'd be there for a little while because you're dealing with more complex issues. So these were 5 that I was able to make it on. And I think there's still 5 good committees.
If you could be chairman of a committee right now, what committee would that be? Which one would you want to be chairman of?
Oh, no, I'm still kind of developing them, just to kind of throw it out. Telecommunications is one that I'm interested in because it's just a personal interest. We think about technology. We don't have a technology committee. Maybe I'll work on that. But telecommunications is kind of that technology committee. It's kind of that committee where, you know, we focus on some of the newer things coming, how it affects the state of Illinois. So probably telecommunications. If not, telecommunications, maybe labor, because labor relations are an issue in my community. So.
And you say you're a cancer survivor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long has it been?
6 years. So it's 6 years this summer. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And what were your feelings then when you first found out, and your feelings about it now? And you say you want to educate other people
Of course,
to that.
You know it, yeah.
And you're on the health committee.
Yeah, I'm on one of the health committee, environmental health. And beyond that, I'll go back to 2006 when I was discovered that I had cancer. I had no insurance. I was a college student trying to survive, working, and no insurance. And it's very difficult when you have an extreme issue like that and you don't have any insurance. So I left the hospital with hundreds of thousands of medical bills, you know, but I did leave with my health, and God brought me through that process. So once I left, that's when my passion started for health-related issues. So I joined the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. And through that network, we traveled all over the nation, fighting for health care, fighting for ACA, affordable health care, Obamacare, what they want to call it.
That's what I was going to say, ask you about.
Yeah, so he liked it, so I like it too.
You know, interested in that. And so what do you think about that Obamacare, the health care bill?
I think it's...
You know,
I think it's wonderful. Again, I fought for it when I was a member of...
Pre-existing conditions, I think, is a very good part of it. And the one where you can keep your kid on to 26 years of age, I think that's good about it. But it's just a good thing to have, period, because there are so many people who don't have health insurance.
And access to it. And I used to be one of them, and now that I'm blessed to have health insurance, you know, I want to do all I can to help people that wear my shoes.
Well, what do you think about Republicans who want to repeal it?
It's baffling to me, you know. People of all races, all creeds and colors deal with health-related issues. Cancer is fair in the sense that you can be rich in 60, you can be poor in 20, you can be, it doesn't matter. Cancer affects people of all areas. And all diseases, most of them affect people of all areas, and health issues just affect us all. I don't see how anyone could be against universal health care or Obamacare or just giving access to people who need it.
Well, you think that has something to do with the haves and the have-nots? I mean, those people who are multimillionaires, they wouldn't have to worry about health care because they have the money to provide for their health care. But we have people who are barely living. As a matter of fact, there are people who work every day and don't make enough money, or, you know, the companies don't provide the health care that they need.
Yeah, and I think that's why this election is so important. We got a president who's been there. He's been on both sides. He's very wealthy now, and he's been on the other side, you know, a struggling student, working class family. So we got somebody who understands the issues of my community. That's why I support him, because he knows what it's like to live on the South Side.
Yeah, because if you've heard some of his speeches out on the campaign trail, he talks about when he and his wife, Michelle, had student loans.
They did,
You know, and so they can identify with that. He tried to help students, college students, with their loans and whatever,
Yeah.
with legislation, but it seemed like the Republicans weren't that interested in it.
It does, and again, that's why I'm gun ho about my president, and I'm hoping he's successful in his second term. Continue some of those great policies he has, and he's an example to me to keep fighting through when there's some passion I'm passionate about. So.
Well, this has nothing to do with legislation, but there are some black ministers. They're not here in Chicago. Who are telling blacks to go fishing on election day. And I have a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I did an article yesterday saying that how can you tell someone not to go fishing? I mean, to go fishing. When our forefathers bled and died for that right to get the vote, and it wasn't an easy thing. It was a very tumultuous thing, as a matter of fact. You know, some people died.
You know it.
The congressman can tell you, because he got quite a few beatings. I can't think of his name right now, but he's an icon in the civil rights movement. John Lewis.
John Lewis, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
And, you know, I even put examples of people who were trying to rally people to go to register to vote.
yes, ma'am.
And they lost their lives.